Fear is a powerful emotion. It can freeze us in our tracks, stifle our dreams, and keep us from reaching our true potential. Fear of failure in particular can be paralyzing. It whispers in our ears telling us that we're not good enough, we'll never succeed, and we might as well not try. However, fear is a natural part of life and it doesn't have to control us. Let's explore how you can overcome fear and embrace the opportunities that lie ahead. First, acknowledge your fear. The first step in overcoming fear is to acknowledge it. We often try to ignore our fears or pretend they don't exist, but when we do that, we give them power. So identify what you're afraid of. Is it failing at a job? Losing a relationship? By naming your fear, you take the first step towards diminishing its power. Remember, it's okay to be afraid. Everyone experiences fear. It's how you respond that matters. And then shift your perspective on failure. We often view failure as a dead end, a reason to stop trying. But what if we looked at it differently? Failure is just a stepping stone. Every successful person has faced failure at some point. It's how we learn, adapt, grow, and improve. Embrace the mindset that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And then take small steps. Fear often feels overwhelming, but you can break it down into manageable steps. Start small. If you're afraid of public speaking, let's say, begin by talking to a small group of friends. Gradually increase your audience as your confidence grows. Each small step you take diminishes the power of fear, and celebrate those victories, no matter how small. See yourself succeeding. Visualization is a powerful tool. When you picture yourself succeeding, you create a positive association with the outcome. So spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself overcoming your fear. See yourself succeeding, feeling confident, and achieving your goals. This mental rehearsal prepares you to face your fears and reinforces your belief in your abilities. Surround yourself with support. Your environment can significantly impact your mindset. Surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you and encourage you to face your fears. Share your goals and fears with them. They can offer valuable perspectives and encouragement. Join groups or communities where others are working to overcome similar fears. You'll realize you're not alone, and that camaraderie can provide immense strength. Practice mindfulness and self-compassion, please. Fear can often lead to negative self-talk, which only adds to the pressure. Practice mindfulness techniques, such as meditation or deep breathing, to center yourself and reduce anxiety. Be kind to yourself. Recognize that it's okay to be afraid, and treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend. Let's embrace fear as part of your journey. Overcoming fear isn't about eliminating it completely. It's about learning to dance with it. Recognize that fear is a signal. It's a sign that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, which is often where growth happens. Every time you face a fear, you're building resilience, courage, and strength. So don't let fear stop you. Instead, use it as fuel to propel you forward. In the depths of our darkest moments, when the shadows loom large and hope seems but a flickering candle in the wind, it's precisely then that the power of positivity becomes our beacon of strength. It's easy to be positive when the sun shines bright, when success kisses our foreheads, and when life unfolds as we envisioned. Yet it's in the crucible of adversity that our true character is forged. Let me tell you a story of triumph amidst turmoil. of resilience in the face of despair. It's the story of Helen Keller, who, despite being deaf and blind, once said, "Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow." What profound wisdom lies in those words. In the darkest of nights when all seems lost, it's our ability to turn towards the light, to seek out the glimmer of hope amidst the darkness that defines our journey. Positivity isn't just a fleeting emotion. It's a mindset, a way of life. It's about choosing to see the silver lining even when the clouds gather overhead. As the great Maya Angelou once said, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." Each setback, each stumble is but a stepping stone on the path to greatness. It is through adversity that we grow, that we evolve into the best versions of ourselves. How do we cultivate this unwavering possibility, especially when the storms rage around us? It begins with the power of perspective. Instead of focusing on what we lack, let us shift our gaze to all that we have. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to happiness. As Melody Beattie so beautifully put it, gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Moreover, positivity is contagious. Surround yourself with those who lift you higher, who believe in your dreams as fiercely as you do. As Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely, for their energy will either fuel your journey or dampen your spirit. And yet there will be moments when even the brightest flame wavers in the wind. In those moments of doubt and despair, remember the power of self-belief. Believe in yourself even when others doubt you. Your thoughts shape your reality. Therefore, dare to dream and watch as the universe conspires to make your dreams a reality. But positivity is not merely about wishful thinking. It's about taking action, about seizing control of your destiny. So dare to dream big, but more importantly, dare to act boldly. For it is in the doing, in the relentless pursuit of your goals, that you will uncover the true extent of your capabilities. Let's embrace the power of positivity as our guiding light in the darkest of nights. Let's choose to see the beauty in the chaos, the hope in the despair. For it's through our unwavering belief in ourselves, through our relentless pursuit of greatness, that we will transcend our limitations and achieve everything we've ever desired. Choose positivity and watch as the world opens its arms to welcome you into the realm of possibilities. When you were a child and acting up, maybe upset with something and generally being a nuisance, were you ever given a timeout by your parents? I think we've all been put on timeouts at some point. It was the go-to parenting hack, sent to your room or go sit in a corner, think about what you've done and basically calm down. Then after a period of time, you would rejoin the world, but in a much better state. The timeout would always work. It was exactly what was needed in the moment. That brief reprieve from your troubles so that you could collect your thoughts, slow the world down, and generally just chill out. When was the last time you did that for yourself? When was the last time you gave yourself a timeout just so you could reflect? Take a break from society, organize your thoughts, and regroup.
There's a line I like to use. I'm not sure where it came from, but it goes like this. I highly recommend you get lost so you can find yourself again. I find that line to be so powerful. It's like the adult version of the timeout. Getting lost to find yourself again. It worked when you were a child, and now you need it more than ever as an adult. The ability to briefly stop the world so you can come back stronger. So often we wait for the moment, like a vacation or a long weekend, thinking that we need extended time to work through things, but that's simply not the case. It could be just going for a walk, or sitting on the back deck, or taking a scenic drive. You can do that anywhere, anytime. It's basically taking time for yourself, shutting out the noise and finding your peace. And don't you deserve that? You deserve the peace of mind. You deserve time to yourself. We as adults tend to focus so much on the needs of our kids, our partners, our work, that we forget to take care of the most important person, and that's you. Make yourself a priority and use a timeout. I'd suggest making time for yourself each day. After all, you are worth it.
Every day when we wake up and rise to tackle life's challenges, hopefully with intent and purpose, inching step by step towards what we seek, we begin to move, and then there they are. The obstacles to overcome, the mountains to climb, and the forces to battle. All of these represent the price which has to be paid for the level of success we're chasing. You see, the bigger the goal, the higher the price, which is why so many settle for lower goals. It's not that they didn't have the talent or skills to reach higher. No, it's the fact that they weren't willing to pay the price. In the beginning, when payment is due, we're ready and anxious to lay out the fees. We'll attack each challenge with enthusiasm as we see it as the first steps on the climb. But over time, after all the work and sacrifices, there it is again, another payment due. The problem becomes that we haven't hit the summit yet, and there's still miles to go. Suddenly we see the costs adding up without any rewards. We've put out all this effort, and although we've made progress, we haven't reached the finish line. Then when we ponder the distance still left to go, we start to doubt our abilities to make future payments. Our energy drops, and we question whether we'll ever hit the summit. And I know it'd be easier to walk away, to leave the jagged path, perhaps content with the investment we've already made and level we've achieved, but there's another option. It's the idea that perhaps there'll be a day when the price is too steep, but not today. There might be a time in the future when I'll end the pursuit, but not today. When in the midst of doubt and that voice is telling you to quit, I want you to utter the two simple words, not today. You just need to push through this day. I promise you that the view will change, that voice will dissipate, and your account will fill again. But you just need to push through this day. And tomorrow, if that same feeling is there, repeat the two words, not today. Because you can and you must push through the tough days to get to the rich ones. This is the lesson that most people fail to understand. If you want the view, then you have to be prepared to make the climb. Pay the price. Like any ascent, it begins with a simple step.
simply repeated over and over. There are no shortcuts. When the surface is smooth, we get coddled into thinking that it'll always be this way. The costs are low and we can run forever. But hey, look around. There's a crowd with you. Being that the price is low, everyone is willing to stay in the race. It's only when the path gets rocky and the price goes up that people start to drop off. You just need to decide if that'll be you. And when that moment of doubt arrives, and it will, I want you to repeat after me. Not today. Step by step, day by day, that's the only way. Have you ever noticed how the smallest of actions can lead to the most incredible changes in your life? Imagine you're standing at the edge of a vast forest, the towering trees representing the obstacles between you and your goals or your dreams. It's overwhelming, isn't it? But what if I told you that the key to navigating this forest isn't about taking giant leaps, but rather it's making subtle, intentional steps? Let me share the story of a young man with a common goal that many of us can relate to. Thomas was a former athlete, and he fell out of shape after entering the business world. He was upset with himself for allowing himself to get out of shape, and he hated the way he looked. But more importantly, he hated the way he felt. So he decided it was time to make some changes. But he was overwhelmed by the thought of starting with a full workout session. So instead of setting grandiose goals that seemed out of reach, he decided to make small, subtle changes. He began by dedicating just 10 minutes each morning to exercise. 10 minutes, that's all. At first, 10 minutes felt insignificant. But as the days passed, Thomas noticed something remarkable. Those 10 minutes grew into 20 and then 30. His stamina improved. His confidence soared, and he was loving his new physique. The key wasn't in the grand gestures, but in the consistent, tiny actions that compounded over time. There's the famous line that I'm sure you've heard before that says, "The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step." This wisdom holds true for every area of our lives. The journey to your dreams, the path to self-improvement, begins not with the giant leaps, but with one small, deliberate step. Think about your own life for a moment. Is there something you've been putting off because the task seems too daunting? Perhaps it's learning a new skill, adopting a healthier lifestyle, or working towards a personal goal. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, start small. Take that first step. It might be just 5 minutes of focused work, a short walk, or a single page of a book. See yourself in the future, where you want to be, who you want to become. Identify as the person you'll be when those small changes have compounded into something significant. The journey starts now, and it's within your power to take that first step. Remember that transformation begins with the decision that something must change, and it must change now. So if you're in agreement, what's going to be your first step? How will you begin your journey today? Embrace the power of small changes and watch how they create a ripple effect, leading to extraordinary outcomes. The path to success starts with that one small step. Let's make today count.
You know what? It's time to take the wheel. It's time to finally get in the driver's seat and take control of your life. Far too often, we go through life feeling like victims of circumstance. We blame our past, we blame other people, or even fate for where we are. But I'll remind you, you are not a victim. You are the driver of your life. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I didn't choose my struggles, or I can't control what happens to me. And you're right, life isn't always fair. There are going to be challenges and setbacks and moments where everything feels out of control. But while you can't always choose what happens, you can always choose how you respond, and that's where the power lies. The problem is when you see yourself as a victim, you give up that power. You let circumstances dictate your decisions. You let fear and doubt make choices for you. But what if instead of waiting for things to change, you decided to change? Life's like a car. You can either be in the driver's seat or the passenger seat. In the driver's seat, you have control. You steer, you accelerate, you decide where to go. But in the passenger seat, you're just along for the ride, hoping things will get better, hoping the road will be smooth. But hope isn't a strategy, action is. Now, steering your life doesn't mean you won't hit bumps in the road. There's going to be detours, and sometimes you're going to feel lost. But as long as you have your hands on the wheel, you can always course correct. You can always get back on track. Take a moment and ask yourself, where have I been living like a passenger? What areas of my life have I let drift without direction? Maybe it's in your career or your health. Maybe it's your relationships, or maybe it's your mindset. Whatever it is, today's the day to grab the wheel. As we've so often heard, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the mindset of a driver, not a passenger. It's about taking responsibility for your life, no matter what cards you've been dealt. It's about realizing that every moment is a chance to take control. And when you start to steer your life, amazing things happen. You stop making excuses. You stop blaming others. And you start taking action. You realize that you are not powerless. You're capable. You're strong. And you are the author of your story. Stop being a passenger in your own life. Don't wait for things to get better. Don't wait for someone else to change your situation. You're the one with the power, and you're the one who can make it happen. It's time to take the wheel.